Apple's Jade's third Hatton Grace, or are we going to get a surprise here? She is going right to the front of the pack, looking as though Jack Kennedy is going to be determined to make nearly all of the running here. It's the centrepiece on a wonderful day's racing, one which we hope here at the races you're enjoying thoroughly from Fairyhouse. That winter festival reaches its crescendo now, and Apple's Jade front and centre. Will she still be front and centre in 5 or 6 minutes' time? She's been a wonderful horse. Of course, there have been some greats to have won this 3 times. Solerina and Limestone Lad. Can she put her name alongside those and remain unbeaten here at Fairyhouse? She's going to give it a really good go, seemingly. 6-4 on at the off. Super Sunday's back in business at 9-2, and Limini 11-2, 14-1 bar. They're away.
They're off. In the big one of the day, the bar1racing.com Hatton's Grace Hurdle, grade 1 over 2.5 miles, and the first to show was Wicklow Brave. Leading to the opening flight, Apple's Jade, last year's winner and the year before, with in third place Dortmund Park. Next on the inside is Limini with Super Sunday, and then comes Shane's Hill as they jump flight number 1, taking them across to the straight first time. And the leader is Wicklow Brave out in front of Apple's Jade, who's another few lengths clear of Limini on the inside of Dortmund Park, and they're tracked across to the straight by Super Sunday. Shane's Hill next on the outside, then Early Doors. The grey is Farcla, and Bapom is bringing up the rear as the 9 runners turn in for flights 2 and 3. In the lead is Wicklow Brave and Patrick Mullins, out in front of Apple's Jade and Jack Kennedy. Third is Limini and Ruby Walsh, and then in the centre is Dortmund Park and Rachel Blackmore. Super Sunday next, Robbie Parr, third in last year's race, and then Shane's Hill and David Mullins, with Bapom and Paul Townend sporting a green cap. And then comes Early Doors and Mark Walsh, and Farcla towards the outside, Davy Russell. Flight number 3, the last one next time, as they stream up in front of us. And in the lead and out in front is Wicklow Brave, being followed by Apple's Jade on a concerted 3-timer bid. She's clear from Limini, and in fourth is Dortmund Park, followed by Super Sunday, Shane's Hill, Bapom, Early Doors and Farcla, as they turn away from the stands to the first of 2 uphill flights. The next flight will be flight number 4. Wicklow Brave, followed by Apple's Jade, who's a tad closer in second. The pair have stretched away from the third running Limini, with Dortmund Park in fourth. Fifth is Super Sunday, and then Shane's Hill, with the final 3, Limini, Farcla and Early Doors, as they race to the final 1.5 miles and the last of the 2 flights up along the side. And it's Wicklow Brave, Patrick Mullins, leading over that flight 2 lengths, Apple's Jade and Jack Kennedy. They remain clear of in third, Limini and Ruby Walsh, with Dortmund Park in fourth, and Super Sunday is fifth. Then Shane's Hill. Bapom has 2 behind, Farcla and Early Doors. Turning right-handed at the top of the track, soon passing the halfway stage in the bar1racing.com Hatton's Grace Hurdle. And it's Wicklow Brave by less than a length now to Apple's Jade, who's almost up level. The pair remain clear of Limini and Dortmund Park. That pair in turn out in front of Super Sunday, and then Shane's Hill, Bapom, Farcla and Early Doors. They're racing towards the next flight, 1 mile from the finish. And this will be 5 from home. Wicklow Brave taken on now by Apple's Jade on the outside. 8-10 lengths in front of Dortmund Park, and then comes Limini. They're almost back at the point at which they started, and dueling away for the advantage, Wicklow Brave on the inside of Apple's Jade as they pass the 7, and they remain a good way clear of the next couple, who are Limini on the inside of Dortmund Park. Super Sunday is then being followed by Shane's Hill and Bapom. They're very well strung out, racing on towards the next flight. Apple's Jade on the outside of Wicklow Brave, slightly coming back to Limini and Dortmund Park. Super Sunday is driven along in fifth. Then Bapom and Shane's Hill, Early Doors and Farcla. They're at the 5 as they come now towards the flight on the approach to the straight. This is 3 from home. home. In the air together, Apples Jade on the outside of Wicklow Brave. Lemony is third. Pushed along in fourth is Dortmund Park, and then Super Sunday as they run the home turn. Half a mile to go and 2 flights to jump, and Apples Jade picks it up and goes on from Wicklow Brave. They're clear from Lemony and Super Sunday. Bapaume has made some ground on the outside of Dortmund Park in their early doors, but turning their heads for home with 2 to jump. In the bar1racing.com Hatton's Grace Hurdle, and it's a familiar sight as Apples Jade and Jack Kennedy are powering away from Lemony, Super Sunday and Bapaume over 2 out. Apples Jade a long way clear, just the 1 flight to jump. And the bar1racing.com Hatton's Grace Hurdle, it is Apples Jade, Jack Kennedy for Gordon Elliott in Gigginstown. Down towards the final flight, Apples Jade over from Super Sunday, a remote second, and then Bapaume, who made a mistake with Lemony next. But Apples Jade joins an elite club in winning 3 Hatton's Grace Hurdles by a wide margin. Super Sunday second on return with Lemony third, and then Bapaume early doors, Farcla, Wicklow Brave, Shane's Hill and Dortmund Park.
Wow. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. What a performance, arguably the performance of her life. Apples Jade. You could see the Willie Mullins tactics. He tried to soften up Apples Jade with Wicklow Brave, and Apples Jade, well, she's just spat Wicklow Brave out, and the others, they just couldn't get a look in. She joined some of the greats of Irish racing. Limestone Lad won 3 Hatton's Grace. Solerina, 3 Hatton's Grace. Istabrack only won 2 Hatton's Grace. Apples Jade wins her 3rd. A 2nd for Jack Kennedy. And another big race winner for Gordon Elliott. This is the horse, remember, found by Willie Mullins. The horse that arguably hurts Mullins most that she's not still with him. Gigginstown moved her to Gordon Elliott, and she hasn't just won, she has absolutely blitzed them. A sensational performance, and once again the questions will come. Surely she deserves more than just a mare's hurdle at Cheltenham. Surely she deserves to go right up against the best in the champion or indeed the stairs. Could we give her a couple of spins round so we can have a chat with Jack? Thanks very much. Jack, I was saying that's arguably the performance of her life. Absolutely sensational. Just going to come this side, and there we go. That was awesome.
Unreal. She's unreal. Like, you don't have to make the run on her. She, her jumping was brilliant today. She was very straight. It's just she's unreal. It's a dream to be riding a horse like this.
I know probably Michael O'Leary will say, look, the mare's hurdle will be her race, but if she was in a champion hurdle, you would presumably think she has a great chance.
She definitely wouldn't be disgraced in one anyway, but look, the mare's hurdle is there as well, kind of, for horses like this, so it's up to her connections, but I wouldn't mind riding her in any race, to be honest.
Jack, your 2nd Hatton's Grace. This horse now joins Limestone Lad and Solerina as a horse who won 3. Istabrack only got 2, remember. I mean, she really is right up there now as one of the legends of Irish racing.
Oh, she is. It's some achievement for a horse to even to win 3 Grade 1s even is an achievement in its own right, but oh, she's class.
Jack Kennedy, just a young kid, remember, still. He is one of the rising stars of the game. Apples Jade, she's established, John, as an absolute star.
You're so right, Matt. Yeah, if she were on the West End, the whole crowd would be on their feet now, and the standing ovation would still be ringing round. Gordon Elliott, what a superb performance, Mick, that was.
Brilliant. You know, it's what you wanted to see, John, to be honest. You know, when you've got races like this, of this quality, featuring good horses, you want to see a performance that's gonna have the wow factor, and I think we've seen that here. And you know, Jack Kennedy, he had a plan, and if anything, Willie with Wicklow Brave and Patrick Mullins making a run and helped them, because it actually brought out the best in her. She was so slick jumping today. You know, in the past, the worry with her is she goes a little bit right-handed. So going this way around is absolutely perfect for her. And you can almost see her almost edging towards Wicklow Brave every time she jumped. And that was the only thing that was going to unsettle her. But, you know, Super Sundays run a really good race in behind as well. I think Jesse Harrington will be delighted with that. And like I said about Fairclass, the grey horse, just keep your eye on him. He was held up. He's actually run a nice race too, but there's no getting away from the superiority of Apple's Jade over this field. I think it's a really taking performance, and you know, I'm pleased for her that she's gone into the record books. There's only the third horse to have won 3 of these, because it takes some doing, and to keep them sound takes some doing. For her to be this durable is amazing.
And to bounce back after the travails of last spring, Mick, where I'm guessing you'd agree she just wasn't at her best at either Punchestown or Cheltenham behind Benny Didier. She can't have been, can she?
Well, you wouldn't have thought so, but you just wonder, you know, how much that going slightly right-handed does affect her on a left-handed track nowadays. And it's something that does seem to be creeping in, so you just wonder if she's going to be a better mare going right-handed. I'm not saying she won't win the Mares Hurdle, because she's so much better than those. She can go a little bit right and get away with it against inferior opposition.
And talking about the best way to banish the memory from 24 hours previous of Samcro's heavy defeat at Newcastle, that just for the moment completely forgotten with a dazzling display.
I'll tell you what, it'll be very interesting to find out how she lines up against Samcro. Because if this mare deserves her chance in the Champion Hurdle, is she better or is she worse than Samcro?
Well, I think on the evidence of the last 24 hours, Mick, no contest. She's better, isn't she, by miles? That's my standpoint anyway. Let us know what you feel. Get involved. Twitter or email. We'll monitor them both. Apple's Jade, an exhilarating display to win the Hatton's Grace for the 3rd time. Sensational afternoon sport here continues on At the Races.